What's going on out there, folks? Ray with Clean Home Power Washing here out of North Carolina. This is my boy Big John. In this video, we're going to be doing an exterior soft wash on this house, along with the soft wash on the roof and some exterior window cleaning. So check it out. All right, so first things first, property protection is the most important thing. So what we'll do is take a look at the property, and we're gonna start noticing different potentials, different hazards. The customer already said the last person that came out here and did some pressure washing burn out their lights up there. So we're gonna make sure that we're taping off that light fixture. I can see there's a gap in there. Some other hazards that we can recognize here are obviously vegetation, flowers, plants. So we're gonna be covering those up or moving those away from the house, because even with a downstream mix, you can still burn up plants, flowers. Bushes are a little bit harder to damage, but any of your flowery type plants, it's very easy to damage those. So we're gonna be moving those away, wetting down all the other plants. Also, we're gonna cover up any flowers that are gonna be kind of unavoidable. So one other thing is they expressed that the door had a little bit of space in there. So I like to use this Sure Tape. For anybody that wants to get some, it's just called Sure Tape. It's like a stucco type tape, but it sticks very well and it won't peel the paint off of anything. So I'm gonna put a strip along the base of that door there to make sure we don't get any water in there. I cannot stress how important it is to do that property protection walk. Another thing we like to do is tape off the garage door opener, make sure we give ourselves a place to apply there. As you can see, we got the door taken care of, the doorbell, the door locks, all kinds of electronics and things like that. It's very important, making sure we're bagging those downspouts up. Once you get all that solution up on the roof and it starts coming down those gutters, man, you want to capture that, because you don't want a 6% mix going out into this vegetation, these flowers, this nice grass, or down into the lake if it's a house that's on the water and you get that drainage that could cause some serious issues. What we like to use is a 6 mil, 6 inch, look at there, and caught a little friend in there, but a 6 inch, 6 mil tubing. You can find this stuff on Amazon, and we'll roll out a nice long piece of that. We were using the 4 inch, but we upgraded to the 6 because it holds more solution, obviously. Another thing that I highly recommend is while you're doing that property protection walk, go ahead and whip that camera and scan the entire area down. Get a video of any types of little damages you see, any potential hazards, and that's gonna do a couple things. For one, it's gonna protect your butt. So in case something's damaged and they think maybe you did it, that's going to protect you because you have a video of the property and you can pull it back up and take a little screenshot and send it to them. And the other thing is, if you do find something, you can bring it to your customer's attention, which is going to build value. It's going to build trust. They're going to like the fact that you're a professional and you have a little bit of expertise to you, and you could recognize different things like that. So it's going to help with that value factor there. Another thing to look out for is when you're checking out your downspouts and you're protecting that property, when you come across ones that are plumbed up and they're going down the ground, always walk these out, talk to the property owner, and try to figure out, where they run to. And a lot of times they'll run out somewhere where it's not a problem, but sometimes they'll run somewhere where it is. So when you're posed with that issue there, what you can do is, you can get in here and flood this area down really well with a hose prior to starting. Make sure you get it really saturated. Or B, you could remove this however you need to, whether taking some screws off or whatever, and then bag this downspout up with the tubing. So we got the property protection out of the way, so we're about to start to clean it. One last tip that I want to give you guys is always do a test spot. So you can see this house has got hardy board on it, it's painted. One thing you got to watch out for is there's a Sherwin-Williams organic pigmented paint that will fail when you put sodium hypochlorite on there. So what we like to do is go over here and do a test spot. Now I sprayed around a 4% mix on this siding here when we first arrive. I, find an inconspicuous spot right here in this square, and I can see that everything is checked out just fine. So we know we're good to go on that. We got the property protected, the downspouts are bagged up, all the electrical sockets and other potentials for damage are taped off. We've done our test spot on the siding, so everything is squared away. Now, we're gonna do the soft wash on the roof first, then we're gonna do the exterior house wash, the gutter brightening, and then we're gonna finish with the exterior window cleaning. So let's get this party started. Now that I'm up on the roof, I'm gonna take a look at a couple things. The first thing I'm gonna be doing is looking for any type of damages or potential hazards. I can see a wasp nest up there, so I'm gonna watch out for that. I can see that they have some squirrel guards on the downspouts. That lets me know that they have a little bit of a rodent problem. And I can take pictures of any damages that I see and send them over to the customer. They're gonna love the fact that they have a service provider that can recognize those things. Me and Big John have already talked about how we're gonna take care of the roof cleaning. We're real big on planning our work and working our plan, so we're gonna do that. You can see him down there taking care of that Japanese maple, keeping it nice and wet. And as for the roof here, it's really not in very bad shape. There is some moss here. You can see it. It's already starting to get up underneath there. So, we're going to be eradicating that and taking care of that using around a 4 to 5% mix on this roof here. At the end of the day, safety is the most important thing. And to add on to that, your safety is your responsibility. So it is totally up to you to make sure that you feel safe and that you're properly protecting yourself at all times when you're performing any kind of work. So I see a lot of guys on here, they're quick to call people out on safety things and different types of procedures. Your safety is your responsibility. Here, a little look around here. We've got a beautiful view of the lake today, which is always a nice thing. It's a beautiful day out here, sunny and 75 out in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually, we're in Belmont, but right here outside of Charlotte. But anyhow, so Big John is down there ready to do his thing. Me and him have decided that we're gonna do the front section of the roof here and get all this done and applied to first, and then work our way around to the back. And the reason being is, you really want to make sure the front of that house gets a nice job. You want to do a great job on the whole house, but it's imperative, when they pull up, you want that first impression of the curb appeal of that house to really pop. So we like to apply to the front first, get all that done. So if we see any little touch-up spots, when we come back, we can hit those. So as if you miss a little spot on the back side, that's probably going to get overlooked and they may not ever even notice it. But if you miss a spot on the front, they're going to see that, and that could lead to callback or a bad review, or just a bad taste in your customer's mouth, not getting called back, which is even worse. So anyway, let's do this. We got everything that we could get from the peaks up at the top. This whole front side's done. There may be just a couple little spots I'll touch up whenever we get done. I like to let that stuff sit there for a while and its thing. So we're gonna get our ladder up on the back deck, and there's a couple spots. I couldn't really get there to the peak and the pitch was too high, so I didn't want to risk trying to go down that. You always want to be safe, so we'll take a here and take a look at this roof. Another beautiful property. Got two old fellers out here, they got the right idea. Oh yeah. But anyway, you can see here all the stuff up top. I was able to hit that really good, get all the peaks and the gables. There's just a couple little areas down in the middle there. I couldn't get that section, so we're gonna set the ladder up there and touch that up, and also touch up the little section on the end and get that looking good. Then we'll go ahead and start on getting this house washed. All right, we're getting there. So we just got two more sides of the house to do. One thing I want to mention is these Japanese maples. I've already applied the downstream solution to this section here. And I like to go ahead and wet those things down really, really good before I apply. Even if you're using a downstream mix, I just like to really saturate those maples and also give them a little bit of water down at the roots. Make sure they drink that in before we apply, and then be very strategic when applying that downstream mix. Now, like I said, I've already done this and applied it, and now I just need to rinse. Everything's already off of there, but it's very important because these things, you can see it sometimes. What'll happen is you'll think, oh man, it's not gonna hurt these things. You'll spray that downstream mix, it'll get on those plants, and they will literally just fold up and weep up. And there's no question that they ain't gonna make it at that point. So, and you get one of these full-grown Japanese, man, that could be a lot of money. So you always want to be real careful around those. But yes, all we got is this side here, a little side around the back, and that, and then we'll be finishing up with the exterior window cleaning. So let's get it. What we got left to do is the exterior window cleaning. Big John's taking care of that right now. As you can see, he's already got all these up here done and the ones over here on the side. So for guys that are not using a water-fed pole or doing the exterior window cleaning, you could be missing out on a nice little cherry on top for raising that average ticket up. And you want to show them how the technique works. So how you clean them windows, man? What do you got to do?
I just go.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean. I plugged it. I didn't even mean to.
Just go. I just get a little splash on it.
Yeah.
Just up and down. Just up and down. I usually go over it twice. That way I know if I missed any spot, I got them a second time.
Gotcha.
And then just give it a quick little rinse.
Just rinse it down. So, and the way these things work is it's got a extendable carbon fiber pole. We ended up picking this pole up from a painter. We did a house wash for him. He ended up having that in the garage and gave us the water fed pole and the DI tank. That's just an Unger deionized tank there. And he had the brush in the head and all that good stuff. So the way it works is you plug that hose up to the tank and then it feeds through this little small tube into the water fed pole and then shoots out the deionized water and cleans the windows spot free. So it's a good little upsell to have on the truck, because a lot of times when you get to these bigger houses, they'll want to get the exterior windows cleaned, and what we do is we just charge $5 a piece. So like I said, it's a nice little cherry on top and a good way to butter up that average ticket. All right, so we just got wrapped up with everything. The house is done. We got the roof washed, the house soft washed, and all the windows clean. Now, I always like to do this on every single house before we leave. The last thing that I'll do is do one last little walk around and see if there's anything that I missed, especially on the ground level. Really good, so, but it's just a good practice to go around and do a little scan at the ground level, make sure that you didn't miss anything that they're gonna see when they're either coming home or leaving. Let's see. House turned out really nice. All the stuff got cleaned up, gutters brightened up nicely, and the windows came out good. For any of you guys that are thinking about getting the water fed pole system, you want to make sure that there's a TDS meter, or get a TDS meter, and you want it to be below 15 in order for the windows to come out good. Now, we have found that if it's a little bit above 15, they'll still come out pretty good, but all in all, this was a good one. This was our only job for today. We scheduled it by itself because we knew it was going to be a little bit of a monster, and plus the customers here were a little bit particular, so we wanted to leave the extra time. Plus, it's about 3 o'clock and we kind of need a little break anyway. I think Monday we had 22 estimate requests come in, so all of our marketing avenues are starting to really take off. Not quite so many today, and yesterday was a pretty busy day, but the season's definitely in full swing, so we're just hanging on for dear life and shooting for the moon. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there.
Get a hold
Oh
of
man,
that.
we already got one in there.
That's clean home.
That's from the last time we was in there. Damn, they don't never.
Your house will look a lot better.
Is the roof dirty?
Nah.
Oh well. All right, so we just got back to the shop and we're getting everything filled back up. We got the bleach tank filled back up and our 15-gallon carboy that we use for downstreaming filled back up. Also, the soap tank over here, we'll fill that up as well. And a lot of people ask, how much bleach did you use? How much does it take to clean a roof? It's always going to be different depending on the size of the roof and how dirty it is and things like that. But on that particular roof, we used about 25 gallons of SH. So we had about 50 gallons in here when we started, and we were down to 25 gallons. So that's what it is. I'll also give y'all our little transfer station here. For anybody that needs a good surfactant, y'all already know what it is. Some of the draw. But here's how we do our transferring nowadays. We took the old 12 volt Reaper box that we got from Sean Hodges at Arkansas Soft Wash Kits. Check them out if you need a soft wash kit, but this was the first one that we got, so now we just use this for our pumping station. So we'll have a drum of surfactant, a drum of SH. This is actually Agent Halt mixed with water, and we'll keep our SH over here, transfer it out of there, and then when we're done, we'll take one of the drop sticks here and run it into the Agent Halt, which will neutralize the 12 volt pump and keep that working good for a long time instead of going out. That's about it. We're going to get this filled back up and ready for tomorrow. We got 3 jobs scheduled tomorrow. We only had the one today, but it was a good ticket. You know, people always ask about pricing, and you know, there's no house is the same, and we don't really price. We price for the day. As of right now, we try to put a certain amount of revenue on the day. So as long as we hit that number, then we're pretty good. We're all right with that. That way we can keep the quality high and not get burnt out or get wore down. So we're actually gonna go run some estimates right now. We've got a few to do. 6 came in today. It's been up and down. We had Monday, over 20 estimate requests came in on Monday, which was wild. I almost lost it. And then the next day it was like 10. And then, like I said, today, yesterday was like 6. And then today it's another 6, I think. So we're gonna go run these estimates and keep this train rolling. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll be putting some more content out here soon. And as always, keep on hustling, keep on grinding, and shining like a diamond. We'll check you later. Peace.